Welcome to the Clay Edwards Podcast, the shot of adrenaline your mornings didn't know we needed. It's now time to sit down, strap in, and turn it up to 11.
Are you ready?
I feel like Jackson, Mississippi.
As we go to war for the soul of America, your host, award-winning podcaster, Clay Edwards.
Let me check a little something here.
All right. Test one. Test.
All right, man. We're live. Brand new studio, sort of. I wasn't going to do a live here until I kind of got this how I wanted it. And this isn't it, but it's going to work for tonight. Man, Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson. You know, so I heard Chokwe singing some kind of song tonight. So y'all know I have a song that I like to sing when it concerning Jackson. It's not a hymn. It's a Project Pat. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Jackson, Mississippi does not want to be saved. There's no way with any rationale on any measuring stick that you could justify reelecting Antar again. And I know it was just the primaries. I know there's a general election coming up. I understand how that works. And we are supporting Les Tannehill and Miss Charlotte Reeves. Hopefully it'll come down to one and we're not splitting the vote any. I know Jason Wells won the Republican primary and I like Jason, but I'm just being realistic. Go Jason, man, pulling for you. But let's not kid ourselves. The Republicans not winning anything in Jackson, Mississippi. So I see there's people proud of Lumumba. So Jeff A, we got a commenter here. So I just want to know, what is it? Why would you vote for Chokwe again? Tell me one positive thing he's done other than the murder rate increase. It just does not make any sense to me. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I anticipated it, but I'm still disappointed because I don't know what you have to, at 4 years of on-the-job training, because we elected a guy that had no experience doing this and has proven that time after time after time. Is it the pro-black stuff? I mean, because I know there's other black candidates that are quite viable. Is it just the whole free the land nonsense and all that? I just don't understand. Somebody said Stockholm syndrome here in the comments, and that makes a ton of sense to me too. I'm blown away. Almost 500 murders. I quit counting. I lost my notepad that I had it all written down in. Back around January, I did the numbers, and there was over 400 murders since he took office on July 3rd, 2017. Counted every one. And there's another basically 40 this year, 39. So this is right at 500, give or take a few. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody who's passed away when I say give or take a few, but most of those, I would say all but maybe 5 or 10 African Americans. You would think that for a guy that always talks about racism and white supremacy and racist Mississippi and all that any racist would probably sit back and be like, absolutely, please continue letting Chokwe do what he's doing because he's doing their job for them. We have less than 200 policemen in the city of Jackson. Less than 200. I have no clue how you think anybody's going to stop crime when you have basically one policeman for every 1,000 citizens. Every 1,000 citizens. And he ran off 200 of them. And I'm telling you, I assume the others that I've heard are going to leave anyway, because the chances of an independent or a Republican winning are slim to none. I mean, the dude got, right as I was going live, I think 11,000 votes. That's ridiculous, man. I mean, I think the closest second one that I saw, it may be updated, but I think Patty got around 2,000. No, don't make no sense. I don't have a whole lot to say concerning this because, again, it's not surprising. But what do y'all want out of Jackson? Chris said he was trying to sing "Victory Is Mine." I mean, wouldn't it be ironic, Chris, if victory wasn't his and he lost to an independent in the general election? It's unlikely, but there's some good people running, but they're white and it's Jackson and they probably lean more conservative, just my opinion. If they didn't vote for Patty or Ken over Chokwe, I can't imagine that a white independent is gonna beat him, but we'll see what happens. All right, I'm gonna read some of y'all's comments here, so bear with me a little bit. Corinthia says less and less voters participated this year. Not even a quarter of Jackson's electorate voted. It's not the mayor or council, but the few idiots that voted for them, and many idiots who didn't vote or put in a candidate worth a damn. Yeah. That's another. I mean, talk about low voter turnout. What is Jackson? Almost 200,000 people, give or take, and 15,000 voted. I know that we all love to run out, and I wasn't allowed to vote. I moved 2 weeks ago. I know legally I could have gone and voted, but I like to be true to my values. And if I say I'm not living somewhere, I'm not going to vote there. Period. I hadn't lived here long enough to vote in these local elections. I think you got to be here 30 or 60 days or something. But I moved, so I'm not going to vote. Wouldn't have made a difference. Would not have made a lick of difference. Not sure who I would have voted for, but it would have been like we said on Kim Wade's show today, anybody but Chokwe. Yet Kenneth Johnson says they changed the voting polls. I did hear that. Mr. Dixon that I do the Kim Wade show with on Tuesdays mentioned that he got to his precinct and he was not on the voter rolls there, and they did not notify him. So shocker, right? I know you had the Black Voters Matter, whatever the movement's called, in Jackson over the weekend. They put a bunch of money behind Chokwe. I'm just reading a text real quick. I say the Black Voters Matter Action Pack supports Chokwe Lumumba and the Poor People's Campaign and all this. And look, I get it, man. A lot of people get enamored by meeting the mayor, being out at the club and meeting the mayor. But other than the guy, again, I'm sure he's a nice guy. He'd like to have a beer with the guy, whatever. But he has proven time and time again that he is not equipped to run the city. I don't know, was that his wife or sister or whoever that was speaking before him at his celebration party. Man, Jackson is fucked. I don't like cussing on here, but whatever little bit of iota of hope was left is gone. Get Out. What's that movie with the guy sitting in the chair crying? Get Out. I still work there. I'm still going to spend 12 hours a day in Jackson. Family still owns a home in Jackson. My in-laws still live in Jackson. But if people are running out and voting for this dude after 4 years of that, and they want 4 more, is it like being in an abusive relationship? He beats your ass or she beats your ass just enough, but then they do one nice thing. You're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna stick around. I want more of it. He was just having a bad day. She was just having a bad day. Man, I don't understand. I know a lot of y'all are happy he won, and I can't imagine how or why. Maybe you work for the city. Maybe you would have lost your job if he hadn't won. So maybe you have a vested interest in him winning, And I understand that, but you're an idiot. Because there's no measurable thing that you can sit here and show me that says he should win. It just don't make sense to me. Does not make sense. Crime is every measurable statistic for crime is triple, doubled, you name it. Carjackings were up, 200-300%? Kids are being murdered in their sleep from random gunfire coming through their houses. What was it, 2 or 3 last year? Kids under the age of 10, they got killed in their sleep. To the crime happens everywhere crew, that don't happen everywhere. That don't happen in Pearl. That don't happen in Brandon. That don't happen in anywhere but Jackson. In Mississippi, anyway. Y'all blow me away. You close a street down for somebody getting out of prison, and to have a parade. Water, none of it for 21 days anywhere south of I-20. South Jackson looks like it's been bombed out Baghdad. Most of these churches in Jackson are nothing more than scam operations, tax shelters, getting paid to host COVID testing, kickbacks going everywhere. It's just disgusting what's going on in Jackson. Absolutely disgusting. I don't know. I just need somebody to tell me. I'm reading the comments here. Somebody tell me what is going on with this dude that makes y'all think, is it the picture with Drake? Do y'all like that? I have a picture with Drake. I brought Drake to my club twice back in the day. Somebody said, Corinthia says, to be fair, Clay, that crime thing is the fault of the church and the immoral households. A lot of it is fault of the church and the immoral households. A lot of people always like to say, well, Clay, he ain't responsible for that crime and the murders. When you run off half the police department, you are absolutely blood on your hands responsible for the murder in your city. When you run on fixing crime and infrastructure and it actually all gets worse on your watch, it's your fault. And you deserve every lick of criticism you get. The free the land nonsense, he gets on there and he talks about it's going to be a city for all business owners and all. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're talking about the same guy that wears a Black Votes Matter mask when he goes out. Well, what about the white citizens in Jackson? I'm just being fair here. I mean, if we're going to make stuff about race, let's talk about it on both sides. And it's a conversation to have, isn't it? I mean, if Phil Bryant was wearing a White Votes Matter mask, not Phil Bryant, I'm sorry, Tate Reeves was wearing a White Votes Matter mask, how would that make y'all feel? To my African-American friends out there. I'm just curious. And it's selfish of us to pretend that we're the only people that live and work in and around Jackson. We have our Indian friends, our Mexican friends, our Asian friends. How do you think they feel when they see that this is the mayor of the city now? This isn't just a business owner or just a citizen. This is the mayor of the city. Just telling you straight up, Black Votes Matter, which basically is saying the only votes that matter to him is black. That's how it's read, whether that's the case or not. It's sad, man. Absolutely sad. And like I say, I'm only making this about race because I want y'all to see the other perspective. Why me and my family moved. You get to the point where you just absolutely don't feel welcomed in your own city anymore. You don't feel safe. You pay a ton in taxes. You have the most expensive tags. You put more into Jackson than it costs to live anywhere else around here, and you get less in return than anywhere else around here. Been out here in Cross Gates. This is my first full week here. Had the house for about 2 weeks. Paved roads. There's a good restaurant. You can throw a rock any direction and hit it. People pulled over all over the place for speeding and this, that, and the other, which just tells you there's police out doing their jobs. I always like to make the point that I'm not bashing JPD. It's the lack of JPD and the lack of leadership and the lack of resources. It's not an attack on the JPD officers and the unit. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm blind. I know there's some good cops everywhere, and I know there's some bad cops. But what do you expect from people to do with what they pay those JPD cops? I mean, you can say, well, don't take the job if you don't want it for the money. But man, I know I told this story last week. Maybe it was on the podcast or the radio show or something. A guy that I know, his sister and her kids were in a bad wreck up on North State Street a couple Sundays ago. And one of the kids couldn't breathe. Airbags came out, whole 9 yards. They called 911. Took them over an hour to get there. In the meantime, one of the local ambulance services passed by. They flag them down. And they's like, no, we can't do anything. That your ambulance is on the way. And then you got to throw 2 cop cars. You got time to put 2 cop cars in a movie. The same day, 2 murders happened in the city. Kenneth says, we need to go outside Jackson to get a police chief. I'm going to pull up some of y'all's comments on the screen here because I want everybody to see these. And so, hold on. I didn't mean to do that one. Kenneth says, we need to go outside Jackson to get a police chief. Well, yeah, I don't disagree. But we've tried that, hadn't we? We've gone outside the state and brought people in. And it just never works out. And nothing law enforcement wise is going to work out with this mayor. I think we need to accept that when you do not respect law enforcement, when internally you just are raised to dislike law enforcement, you're not going to put an emphasis there. I saw some tweet or something the mayor put out the other day talking about a holistic approach to fixing crime. It's more like a holistic approach to murder because that's all that's happening, man. Kim Wade had a good saying today, man. It was the Democrat death something or the other. Democide. Not genocide, democide. And that's what it is, man. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts with Jackson and what's going on. Full-blown left-wing liberal politicians have had full control of this place for 25 plus years. I mean, I know there's been a conservative, a Republican city councilman here and there, but let's be honest. One person in one ward ain't making a difference for the entire city. They can do the best they can for their ward, and that's that. You're a bad mayor when I've agreed with Kenneth Stokes on more things than I have with you. A broke clock is right twice a day. And I've agreed with Kenneth Stokes about that many times. I'm just blown away, man. So I'm going to keep popping up y'all's comments here. Derek says, the mayors don't put guns in these idiots' hands. You think Patty Patterson or Ken was a better choice? I think that the mayor is so bad that another choice had to be made. You can't continue to go down this path. I'll say it again. It's not an attack on Antar the person. I don't care about the person. None of that matters to me. I don't care about any of that stuff. I think you should be godly. We all sin. I cuss too much. I drink too much. But we all have to have a moral compass, and we all have to know the difference in right and wrong. And I know enough to know that change is needed. Sometimes you just have to make change for the people around you to feel better about it. Like in the car business, man, I've worked at dealerships that felt like you were on a sinking ship heading to the bottom of the ocean because leadership was so bad. And just sometimes a change, a fresh start, or maybe you've been at a job and it's just been terrible. And you're like, man, I just need to hit the reset button. I can't come here another day. I just need change. And you go somewhere and you do great. Or maybe you realize, you know what? I should have stayed and just kind of got over whatever I was going through. But most times when it's that bad, man, sometimes just a fresh change, a fresh face, it doesn't mean they're better or more qualified. It just need to wipe the negative slate clean sometimes. And I think that's where we're at with Jackson. Just needed to wipe the negative slate clean because not a damn good thing has gone on here lately. And it's really depressing. It's just scary. You know, it started back when he didn't meet with Trump. And I hate to bring Trump up in this thing. I know that tweaks a lot of y'all because I can't mention Trump, but without somehow it being about racism. But when the guy had the president of the United States in his own town, and he decided to go grandstand with some buffoons and talk about racism, Jackson is 80+%. I say Jackson's closer to real numbers, 90% black, ran by 99% black folks. What is there? One white councilman over there in Fondren or Eastover or something. Jackson cannot blame any of its issues on racism. It's reverse racism, hard-headed ass racism, needing somebody else to blame-ism. It's ridiculous. I mean, y'all blowing my text up. I love it. Crystalline says TDS. All right. So one of the Chokwe supporters here, I'm going to pop him up on the screen. Y'all just want him to do something stupid and ignorant and give you guys reasons to call him a clown show. He has great behavioral skills and he kept his composure, and that's what y'all can't stand. He's articulate and intelligent and y'all hate it. And that sounds like something an old racist white man would say, right? Well, he's articulate. He kept his composure. I would rather you speak in third world ebonics. As long as you can do a good job, I don't care how articulate you are, how much composure you keep. He ain't kept his composure. What have you watched to say he's kept his composure? Man, I've watched that guy get up there on press conference after press conference and show his ass. He had one a couple weeks ago where him and Stokes went back and forth. Tonight, he's got it there and showed his ass again, singing songs. Which, look, we all have a little fun here and there. But let's not sit here and pretend that this guy has got up there like the Dapper Don and everything's just bounced off of him. That ain't true by any stretch of the imagination. So, no, and let me read this again. Y'all just want him to do something stupid and ignorant. He does stuff stupid and ignorant every day. Can't get a water bill out. Didn't go meet the president when he had the opportunity. Why would you not do that? If I was mayor and Biden came to town, reluctantly, I have no interest in meeting him, but if I thought it could help the city, I would do it. If I thought it could help the city, I would have met him. But, when you have a victim mentality, you always got to blame somebody. When victimhood is your identity and you don't have anyone else to blame, you've lost your identity. And that's what's going on in Jackson. 25 years of liberal leadership. And there's no Republican boogeyman to blame it on. You've worked your way to blaming it on the state now. It's the state's fault that Jackson's had almost 500 murders since July 5th, 2017. It's the state's fault that the water in Jackson's no good. What about the rest of the state? The rest of the state does not seem to have water problems. The rest of the state does not seem to have a problem getting its water bills sent out. Talk about, well, we need money. Figure out your water bill. There's a strong rumor out there, and I've heard it from way too many people I respect. People way smarter than me. I'm just a guy with a loud mouth and a bunch of followers that say that there was an offer from Siemens, a settlement offer from Siemens for $90 million to avoid going to court. The city, and the mayor in particular, chose to still go to court with an outside law firm instead of the city's lawyers, whatever. Still got the same amount, but you had to give 30 or 40 million or whatever to outside counsel for the settlement. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's what y'all always tell me when y'all don't like what I say. Make it make sense. Make it make sense is all I'm saying. The Siemens settlement was for $89 million, and rumor is that there was a $90 million offer to settle before going to court. So make it make sense. We just gave 30-something million away to a law firm that was or wasn't in cahoots with Lumumba, allegedly. I went to the wrong college. School of Hard Knocks. I needed to join a fraternity. We didn't have one where I went. Man. Absolute embarrassment. Absolute embarrassment. Let me see something here. Somebody just sent me a text. I want to make sure I'm reading this right. Oh, man. Yeah. It's wild out here, man. Wild out here in these Jackson streets. I'm just disappointed. Real disappointed. On nights like tonight, when I'm being really negative, I don't like to mention the sponsors' names. I don't want to drag them down in the negativity. But I do want to mention Jonesy Barbecue Company because we always, Republican, Democrat, mad or not, we always need a good barbecue rub, don't we? Go to jonesyq.com, spend more than $20 and use the checkout. Use the code Save JXN, Save JXN at checkout, and you're going to get free shipping. I'm paying for your shipping. They got great barbecue sauces, rubs, the whole 9 yards. Save JXN at checkout. Spend more than $20. And no matter how mad you are at me, I'm going to make your food taste better with free shipping. USA Pawn. Check out usapawn.com. They have layaway specials on jewelry and high-end items. It's called the 10-10-10 special. It's 10% down, 10% per month, 10 months to pay. They do offer layaway on guns and other items of such, but it's your typical 30% down, 90-day layaway. But hey, 90 days to pay, you can't go wrong with that either. So again, check out usapawn.com. 6 metro area locations, including the largest pawn shop in Mississippi, located right there at McDowell Road at the Mega Store. And we'll run through a couple more guys before we get out of here. I know my buddy Danny White with Father and Son, Southern Lawncare Professionals is in the room tonight. You give him a call at 601-301-3210. I actually used Danny to cut my yard. He'll be out here next week sometime, and I'll get y'all a before and after picture of Danny's great work. So one of the other things, man, there's been a lot of stuff about COVID, right? There's been a lot of people talking about Mississippi and us being Neanderthals and how could we possibly pretend that the COVID was over. Hang on one second, man. My battery's going dead on my computer. I got to plug it back in. Look, if the battery goes dead, the show ends. If it doesn't, we'll keep going. This is from UMC yesterday, talking about COVID numbers. This is COVID-19 patient status as of 8 a.m. yesterday morning. This is going to blow y'all away. A total of 30 patients have COVID-like symptoms inside UMC, from the best I gather from this information. Confirmed positives, 10 adults, 2 children, total of 12. A couple other weird statistics here, but 30. And there's people out there hollering about don't take your mask off. It's too soon to open up. Now we should be open up 100%, wide open. None of this 50% nonsense. Wide open, 100%. just like Texas, just like most of Florida. There's no reason for Mississippi not to be wide open. Shouldn't be a single COVID protocol left at this point. No mask, none of that stuff. Best I know, Jackson still got its mask mandate going. I haven't worn one in months. I don't care. Not wearing one. I have no interest. That's been one good thing. I'm going to tell you what, that's been one nice thing about getting over here in Rankin County. Is just kind of running in and out of stores and stuff. I'm not the only person that thinks this way. If you were in Jackson, you would think that if you didn't have a mask on, that you were going to be tarred and feathered. Not out here. And lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, that the lowest COVID numbers are out here as well. Weird how that works, isn't it? If you're not humped on top of each other with mask on, pretending that, I don't have to explain it. Y'all know damn well those masks don't work. The social distancing crap don't work. Those vaccines you're getting, good luck with that. I have to be careful what I say about that on here. Their AI will zap me and make me go away. But I know, the same people lined up voting for Antar are the same people who think the vaccine is going to save their life, think that masks work. Meanwhile, pull down on their chin, not covering their nose. I don't know what, man. It's sad. It really is. I know I'm not giving y'all the best. I know I'm probably not the most entertaining person tonight. I'm just depressed about Jackson, man. It feels like no matter how much you care, and I knew it was coming. That's why I moved. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to get the hell out while I still could. But, man, I just holding out hope. And here's an article on Kingfish. This is Jackson Jambalaya. It's Mayor Fights White Flight. This is from Monday. Black Voters Matter Action PAC, Mayor Chokwe Lumumba, the people's candidate on April 6th, because he's fighting to rebuild the city of Jackson in the wake of the water crisis caused by over 35 years of white flight from the city.
He's here to cancel culture.
Who are you then?
Just the fly in the ointment, the monkey in the wrench.
Welcome back to the Clay Edwards Show.
Yippee-ki-yay.
If you can hear this, how ridiculous. I have my computer plugged in and I couldn't hear it.
If you can hear this.
Perfect. I'm back on. I was about to resort to my cell phone. I went and got my other microphone and everything. I hated to not finish. So I appreciate the 40 of y'all that hung around. I was reading something on the Jackson Jambalaya, and this is just about the Black Voters Matter PAC supporting Chokwe. So I'm just going to kind of pick up here. We'll put a button on this thing. It's 10:30. I'm going to start over. It says, Black Voters Matter PAC supports Chokwe Lumumba for the people's candidate. Like he's the Rock or something. The people's candidate. On April 6th, because he is fighting to rebuild a city in the wake of a water crisis caused by over 30 years of white flight from the city of Jackson, paid for by the Black Voters Action PAC. Okay, it was a commercial. So we're just going to pretend. We're going to put the blinders on and just pretend that no black folks moved out of Jackson. I thought it was just called urban flight. Like people have left Jackson. Plenty of black folks have left Jackson too. Plenty of Hispanics have left Jackson too. The audacity to just pretend that white people turn their backs on Jackson is insulting. Blows my mind. Somebody says black accountability matters. How about accountability matters? You know, at some point, you can only blame. Where does this start? Where does this victim mentality come from? Where it's everybody else's fault. We share no responsibility in this. It's white folks moved, and that's that. It's their fault. I'm really tired of hearing about that, as I think most people are. I was there for 43 years, man. Been gone. I keep saying it, I've been gone a week, and I'm not hiding that. Y'all have accused me of not living in Jackson the whole time I've been doing this, so it's about right that I finally don't. So I'm trying to navigate these waters carefully as somebody who has left, because I'm tired of y'all's crap. I'm tired of your shit. It's a lot of do nothing people in Jackson that just want to blame other people for all of Jackson's issues. And there's no other way to say it. Somebody called into the Kim Wade show today while I was on there, and they said that we should put a toll booth into all the roads coming into Jackson. So the people who just want to come here and steal the money from Jackson working here while not living here should have to pay a toll to come into Jackson. Well, let me flip that. What if you had to pay a toll to leave Jackson to work? They always talk about everybody runs to the suburbs to live, then has to come back here to work. Man, that many people don't work at them hospitals. I mean, they're big employers. I don't want to sell them short, but they're not the only business in town, or in the Tri-County area, should I say. How many people work in Jackson and have to run to the Nissan plant to work? What if you put a toll road heading north? You know, what if you put a toll road heading east to Pearl and Brandon, to the places to work out here? What about up there at Continental Tire on the other side of Clinton there? The casinos in Vicksburg. That's the most. What about even better? What about all those places down in Byram at the industrial park there? What if you put a toll road to go into Byram? Man, there ain't no jobs, ain't no real jobs in Jackson outside of the medical facility. If you want to complain about the fact that people who work at the hospitals don't live in Jackson, then how about the people who live in Jackson go get the education required to work at the hospital and keep the people from outside of Jackson getting those jobs? That would seem like a damn good start. You know, if you don't like the people from outside of Jackson coming in and getting them jobs, then do what it takes to get them jobs. Sam says we need toll roads. These Jackson streets are bad. I don't have an argument. I won't make an argument for saying the Jackson streets are bad and we need some creative financing to get them fixed. But I don't know that punishing the people who work here or the businesses that work here is the way to do it. I just never see that working. And it's not the fact that it costs $1 or whatever it is. I get it. But what does Jackson bring to the table? Most expensive car tags. Where does that money go? Corinthia says, maybe it will convince folks in Jackson to patronize and take care of their stuff, to be honest. But the last report stat says over 50,000 people come into Jackson to work. Yeah. I mean, shouldn't Jackson be glad that the people still have to come there to work? What if the businesses that are there, those are just buildings. They don't require, they're not married to Jackson. I mean, UMC, the state capitol, all that, the hospitals, man, they're big hospitals outside of Jackson. I mean, you got River Oaks? It'll always be River Oaks to me. Merit Health, River Oaks. At the end of the day, they're just buildings. They can move. as you see most stuff has. I just insulted that we just pretend that it's only white people who have moved out of Jackson. What about the white people that have stayed? Let's just pretend they don't exist. And they're not all fondling liberals either. A bunch of white guilt-ridden idiots. It's saying, man. Plenty, somebody else said it. Kenneth says, Jackson residents love to shop outside Jackson, though, so Jackson is doing it to themselves. Absolutely. People outside, people that live in Jackson, a lot of people forget the North Park ain't in Jackson. If you charged everybody in Jackson to toll to leave Jackson to shop, that's where the real money would be made. That's just ridiculous. I mean, I know I'm just kind of grasping at straws here, talking about what a caller on the radio station said today. But man, he was fired up, man. He really thought that toll roads would fix everything, and it should only punish the people who live outside Jackson. Well, what if they decided to put a toll on the other side of the road, leaving out of Jackson? They're lucky they ain't built a wall around Jackson yet. The other cities, to keep Jackson in Jackson. I mean, eventually, folks going to run out of things to rob, steal, and kill in the city and start expanding outward. That's how cancer works. It runs out of the immediate area to kill, and it expands outwards. Drive down Highway 80 towards Clinton. Getting a little worse and a little worse and a little worse. Go up 55 north. A little worse, a little worse, a little worse. Well, 55 north is really bad. The homeless and vagrants have set up shop on 55. They're the captain now. I am the captain now. They are the captain now. When restaurants like Hooters and Twin Peaks close in a city like Jackson, that should tell you a lot about what's going on in Jackson. How Cracker Barrel, or why a Cracker Barrel has chosen to stay open in Jackson. I mean, I don't know Cracker Barrel's finances, but I think it's safe to assume that they realistically could probably build another Cracker Barrel up around the Gluckstadt, Madison, Canton exit and fold this one and probably not lose much sleep. And the money they would gain from people not passing through that would go in and eat at Cracker Barrel would probably grow exponentially. I know they have the one in Pearl, and it's great. And the one in Jackson's great. They do great business. I mean, it's good people that work there, good food. I'm just using them as an example because they're the only thing left open at that intersection, restaurant-wise. Outback is going out of business. Twin Peaks has gone out of business. That Kenny Rogers Rooster's place went out years ago. We won't even count that. Boot Barn built there. I just wonder. And when I saw them building the Boot Barn at that exit, I was like, did they even come here and look at what's going on around here? Like, maybe I'm just stereotyping here, but I hear Boot Barn and I think country, Western, rugged wear. And 90% of the folks running around in Jackson, myself included, wearing Jordans, Nike, stuff of that nature. Seemed like a strange spot for a Boot Barn is all I'm saying. When it seemed like other areas they could have gone to, but hell, maybe they sell Jordans in Boot Barn. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Let's see. Cracker Barrel said because their most traffic passed through there. Yeah, but theoretically, doesn't a lot of that same traffic just drive right on up 55 too? I mean, it ain't that much traffic passing through, getting off at County Line. Man, we're running out of stuff at County Line. That Ridgewood Court area and County Line Road ain't what it used to be. I mean, seriously, you could go up, I would say one exit. I know that Renaissance exit's a little weird. It's not a traditional cloverleaf exit, like County Line and North Side there where you have the businesses there at the Four Corners. It's just a little funky. But, man, you can go up to Madison or between Madison and Gluckstadt for sure and put a Cracker Barrel. Just my opinion. I mean, hell, put one out in Byram. A ton of traffic goes that way too. I'm not proposing anything closed in Jackson. Let me be clear there. I'm just surprised that with everything closing around it, that it has survived. Because a lot of locals refuse to go there because you know that in that parking lot, you got a good chance of your car getting stolen, and you have a probably greater than 50% chance of it getting broken into. Eric says he was just over there yesterday buying work pants. So, hey, look, man, again, there's a reason I'm not in business for myself right now. But I look at Boot Barn, and I think that's a strange spot for a boot barn, just based on the demographics of the area. But maybe people drive to it. I don't know. But knowing what you know about that intersection with all the vagrants around there and all the businesses that have been run off from there, seems like a strange spot to build anything. But maybe they got a lick on the land. Who knows? So Sam says illicit massage parlors are still there. We need them out. There is one on Highway 80. They're prostituting in our city. You know what? I'm going to leave this comment up for a second because this is worth talking about. And I appreciate Samuel Perez saying this. What's going on in Jackson? And I know it probably goes on in the areas around here, but I know for a fact it's going on in Jackson because I see it with my own eyes every day. The hotels around Jackson, it should be illegal to rent hotels by the hour in this city. The city council, I don't know how it works. I don't want to pretend that I know how any of this crap works. I'm just a guy, again, with a lot of followers and a loud mouth. Why can't we pass an ordinance that it's illegal to rent hotel rooms by the hour? I'm not saying it would make a huge difference, but it would seem like a damn good start to make it illegal to rent hotel rooms by the hour. Like, I've never thought to myself, I'm tired. I need 2 hours sleep. I'm going to go get a room for 2 hours. And I'm guessing that most people don't think that way. Eric says the mayor eats breakfast at Cracker Barrel every Sunday. I don't know. And Thaddeus says hotels, HOE. Yeah, I mean, we know these things are going on. Why is it that hard? I mean, is prostitution legal in Jackson? Is that what it is? Did I miss something? Is just blatant prostitution legal in Jackson? If anything you want, you can go get at that exit, that Beasley Road, Atkins Boulevard exit right there, where Twin Peaks and Outback and all that was. Between the gas stations there and those hotels right there and the vagrants living under the underpasses or overpasses there, you can get anything, like in that movie, anything you want right there. Was that Platoon? Anything you want right there, man. I'm telling you. It's a shame. There's some great business owners down through there, man. Through the DeVille Plaza area, LaFleur's Bluff Shopping Center there. On the other side, Sam's Lounge, places like that, been there forever. But at what point? I mean, my buddy's over there at Capitol Grill, the Hideaway nightclub. Sailor South is over there, the car lots. I heard Ken Wilson when they were debating with on the Democrat debate, or what it was, Democrat and Republican, I reckon. Anyway, when him and Antar and Ponto were having that debate a few weeks ago, last month, Ken said around 50 cars have been stolen from that Mack Hike dealership right there, that Dodge dealership. I worked there for a little while, and that was a problem. I don't know if that number's real, but it wouldn't surprise me a lick. How is that not news? And if it's false, why didn't anybody call him out on that? Is the media fact checking stuff? I really don't consider myself the media. I don't get paid to do this for the most part. If 50 cars have been stolen from one car dealership, it feels like that seems like a story to me. Like, that should be a story. If a third of that dealership's inventory has been stolen in the last year, That feels like that should just be a news story to me. So I don't know. Full Metal Jacket. Thank you. I said Platoon. Full Metal Jacket. Anything you want. That's why I almost didn't want to say it, because I didn't think I was right. And such a classic movie, I hated to get the title wrong. Love Full Metal Jacket. Shout out to my buddy Corey McDonald. I know that's his favorite movie of all time. But that's what that exit feels like right there. There's prostitution, there's drugs. God knows you can get a mixtape at those gas stations. And some hookers took a dude hostage at one of those gas stations last year, and Facebook lived it. A white dude. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's pretty infamous around here. For getting in trouble with hookers and drugs. Then I have a video of a vagrant dry humping the sidewalk on the side of one of those gas stations. I think it's the one across the street. I get the names confused, so I hate to sit here and tell you if it was Exxon or Texaco or Shell or any of that. It is what it is. It's those gas stations over there by McDonald's and CarMax. They look all nice when they come in. You're like, oh, man, we're getting one of those super gas stations. They got the ice cream. They got the pizza. They got the fried chicken. They got the 37 pumps. And then you're like, oh, yeah, they also sell meth pipes and rolling papers and digital scales. And they're open 24 hours, and they don't run anybody off for hanging out front and doing it, soliciting. Those are terrible for the areas. And people tell me, they're like, oh, these areas, these gas stations that are open 24 hours in the inner cities, these people don't have anywhere else to get stuff. Man, if you need something at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning bad enough, take your ass to Walmart and get it. These are just all the things wrong with Jackson. All these killings, I would love to know how many killings have actually happened at gas stations. I'll do this research. I'll get it. I'm just thinking out loud here. Man, it's ridiculous. Let's jump into y'all's comments real quick, man. I'm gonna stay on here for about another 5 or 10 minutes, and I got to get to bed. Freeman, this is one of my favorite followers, man. He follows us on YouTube. And look, man, also we stream on YouTube, Periscope, and here on Facebook simultaneously. Freeman says the four-wheeler shop used to be on I-55 South, was broken into so much the owner finally moved. The cop could or would not catch them. The cops could or would not catch them. There's some kind of motor coach sales there now. Are you talking about right there at Savannah Street at that four-wheeler shop on 55? Because they built one. Oh, no. You're talking about the Polaris one at Elton Road there. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That's right over there by my folks' house, man. That is rough. Corinthian says, I know I called you Corinthian earlier. I apologize. Corinthian says, can't do that now, Clay Edwards. You know that Wally World got a curfew. Hey, look, I get an earning every now and then, man. I'm just like, I wake up, I can't sleep, whatever the case may be, and I'll go to Wally World at 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. And it's like I always want to buy some electronics when I can't sleep. I don't know what it is, like gadgets, this kind of crap. Microphones from my cell phone. Love that kind of stuff. Like I'll buy stuff like this Pac-Man machine. Damn, I didn't mean to hit that so hard. This Pac-Man machine here. This is why I can't have nice things, because I buy dumb things like this. But it's fun. It looks good on the screen. Let's see, Charlotte said, my insurance agent on Terry Road by Elton got broken into several times. They moved to Byram. Yeah, so I've been talking about Elton Road and Terry Road a little bit lately. It was a couple Sundays ago. I was moving some stuff back and forth out here to the new house, and Crystal and I were coming up Terry Road. We'd be going north, so we would take a right on Elton. And there was a vagrant there walking up bumming money from folks. Had him a little sign and everything, man. Police, JBD ran him off. They were right in front of me. So again, JBD doing a good job when they had the opportunity to do it. So I did a whole radio show about that, made a Facebook post about it, and some of y'all got in your feelings. Apparently, you get offended when I call them bums. But if you walk up to a car, bumming money, bruh, you're a bum. There ain't no other word for it. Bum. I don't care who that offends. It is what it is. If you smoke crack, you're a crackhead. You smoke meth, you're a fucking meth head. Excuse my language. If you sell cars, you're a car salesman. If you're a lawyer, you're a lawyer. If you're an alcoholic, you're an alcoholic. It is what it is. I can't make up names to make you feel better about somebody being an idiot. You know, the second somebody decides they want to get their life together, they're not that anymore. But when you're in the midst of that, you are what you are. I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to make excuses for you being an idiot, you know, and coddle you. That's why people get in bad situations and stay in them, because people are more concerned about coddling them. And like, no, it's okay. You've just had a hard life. You just need a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, a 400th chance. You know, that's what's wrong with society now. People are getting 300 and 400 chances to continue to show you that they ain't shit. Anyhow, look, thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Thank you for dealing with my technical difficulties. Apparently my plug that I plugged the computer into in this new studio, that plug didn't work. And my computer's been in my backpack for a week. So it was on low battery, to say the least. Got it plugged in, got back up, man. Appreciate you guys sticking around. This is the new studio. It's a work in progress. We got a ton of pictures to hang. I might keep the grandma chairs. I'm not 100% sure. They're really comfortable. I kind of like this better than I did my desk setup. This is just a little TV tray here. There is going to be something better for this. We got our books all here. We got our Bible, my gun, my barbecue sauce. What else does a man need? Y'all be sure to check out the sponsors again. USA Pawn, Jonesy Q, the gym at Byram, Father and Son, Southern Lawncare, Lakeland Glass and Tint, Generator Power Solutions, Dumpsters of Mississippi, and Black Axes Throwing Club. Chad Wesley will be playing at Black Axes Friday night, as well as co-headlining the Mississippi Mudbugs Festival Saturday night down at the fairgrounds. We'll have some more tickets to give away for that. Appreciate you guys so much. Freeman, my email is savejxn@gmail.com. Y'all can always email me if you just absolutely want to talk to me. You can DM me. I'll hook you up with my phone number, as long as you're a real person and a real profile and not a crazy person. Or just DM me. I'm very accessible. I respond to as many messages as possible. Love talking with you guys. Love having real conversations. That's why I do this. Whether we agree or disagree, I think it's good to have open communication. I love people that agree with me. Obviously, I love that people who watch this because they agree with this, but I like people who watch this because they disagree with it too. Because I like to think that there's some middle ground somewhere that we can find and try to say, okay, well, I disagree with you on this, but you make a good point here. And there's plenty of people I've had those conversations with, and those will remain private. But there's plenty of people that hit me up. They're like, man, I don't like your opinion on a lot of things, but I like having a conversation with you because you're saying things that a lot of other people aren't. Now, I can count on one hand how many people in the city, when I say the city, I mean Tri-County area, speak their opinion like this in a public forum. It ain't easy. There's lots of times I get on here and the next day I'm like, I hope I didn't say too much last night. But anyhow, look, man, again, I enjoyed this. Thank y'all. You can always get in touch with me if you need me. Gonna get back to doing these a lot more often. Got a whole big room here to do this in now. Gonna have guests over here. We're gonna get a table set up. We're gonna do round table conversations, more microphones. It's gonna be a good time, man. We're always gonna talk about Jackson, but there's gonna be a lot more stuff on the table to talk about. I got a big announcement next week about the radio show. Huge. I had a goal at the beginning of the year to reach by the end of the year, and it's already happening 4 months into the year. So super excited to make that announcement. And y'all have a blessed one. Thank y'all. Stay safe out there. You can still keep Chokwe from being mayor. The general elections in June.